Good evening. Welcome to the January 8th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you call for.
Councilman Whalen here, Councilman Stewart here, Councilman Romano.
Here.
Walden, Supervisor Barrett.
Here, we have no minutes to approve this evening. Any communications or announcements? Seeing none, we'll get right to business. Okay, we've got a couple of fine young men here with their families and fellow scouts supporting them. Brendan Barrow and Matthew Roos, and we will be recognizing these young men. First, we're going to recognize Patrick.
I'm Brendan.
Brendan, I'm sorry. Patrick's his middle name. Brendan Barrow, yeah. We will, Pat has a resolution that she will read in Brendan's honor.
This is resolution number 9 of 2018, a resolution recognizing Brendan Patrick Barrow for attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in service to his community. Whereas the town of Clifton Park, New York takes immense pride in the accomplishments of its residents and recognizes the valuable contributions of the Boy Scouts of America to our community and to our nation. And whereas Brendan has proven himself to be an outstanding member of Boy Scout Troop 42, chartered by the Corpus Christi Church, and has earned the rank of Eagle Scout to be awarded on January 21st, 2018. And whereas the rank of Eagle Scout is the highest award that a Boy Scout can earn, and to achieve this rank, Brendan Barrow earned 26 merit badges, demonstrated leadership within Troop 42, and organized and completed his Eagle Scout project, which benefited the local community. And whereas Brendan's Eagle Scout project benefited the trail system of the town by creating a new section of trail near the Southern Saratoga YMCA, and whereas Brendan's trail extension required him to organize and lead a team of adult and youth volunteers in clearing the trail section, putting down weed barrier, and installing wood chip mulch down the half-mile section of the new trail. And whereas Brendan's project included the design and construction of 16 interpretive signs that describe the habitat characteristics of the trail area, and whereas Brendan's dedication to the Boy Scout oath while using his time and energy to give back to his community will serve to prepare him for a meaningful, productive role in society. Now therefore be it resolved that the Clifton Park Town Board honors the accomplishments of Brendan Patrick Barrow as an outstanding citizen for his achievements and advances, and recognizes Brendan as one of the community's newest Eagle Scouts. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to Brendan Barrow.
Very good. I move that we approve the resolution with a second by the board. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walden? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, Brendan Patrick Barrow.
Good Irish name.
It is a good Irish name. Pat O'Donnell. Pat O'Brien O'Donnell. She's got 2 O's in her name. She knows her Irish. Please come on up, sir. So how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Now, I had the privilege to be at the ribbon cutting for the trail, and I saw firsthand the incredible amount of work that went into making, I can't imagine the planning, never mind the work, physical work that went into making the project happen. Tell us a little bit about that, the process that you undertook to plan and execute the plan and end up with a beautiful new recreational trail for residents.
So I worked with the Y for a couple months before starting my project back in 2016, where we planned out how to organize getting the wood chips from National Grid and where the trail system was going to connect to. And through the help of a man named Chuck McGaffin, who was a volunteer with the Y, we kind of coordinated this project together. And it was completed around the Y building. It was about a quarter of a mile long and included, as was said, birdhouses, a trail, and nature signs along the trail. And I would say that the planning process was definitely the most arduous part of it. The work wasn't so bad, but it was definitely a good experience to have.
So through your project and then looking back many years over your scouting career, those that aren't involved in scouting sometimes don't realize that from the time you start to the point you get the Eagle Scout, it's not a 5-year process. I mean, we're talking basically your whole life. just about. So tell us what scouting has meant to you. What have you learned from scouting that you feel you can take with you in your future endeavors?
Scouting has definitely taught me a lot about leadership as a whole. I know I became the senior patrol leader of my troop when I was in the 8th grade because I had some opinions and I wanted to change some things and lead other people, and so I went for it. And I think it has helped me to become more confident in my own strengths, and I've improved my abilities to help others from what I've learned from the mentors within my troop.
Fantastic. Good answers. You might have thought we had this planned ahead of time. He had no idea. I don't even think he knew he was going to speak tonight. So this is fantastic. So what are your future endeavors? What are you looking to do? What's next? What's next for Brendan Patrick?
I hope to pursue an undergraduate degree in physics. It's something that I've come to love through school, and also the Nuclear Science Merit Badge I did through Boy Scouts. And so it's something that I definitely want to do as part of my career, and where that degree will take me, we'll have to see.
Any idea where you might want to study yet?
Looking at University of Rochester, Clarkson, those type of places.
Well, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those. For a physics, engineering type degree, and obviously a well-spoken young man and ready to take on the world. And we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
For what you've been able to accomplish in your scouting career and what you've given back to the community in the form of this beautiful trail. As the Exit 9 area has evolved, there's many connections now to various different uses, business uses, retail, the library, the Y, so many, the schools in that direct area. The land we just, we're about to purchase from Shenendehowa. There's so many connections in that area, and having these trail connections is very important for people to enjoy. The quiet areas of Exit, there are quiet areas of Exit 9, believe it or not. And Brendan found one, and he enhanced it. And but it's those connections between the entities within Exit 9 that will make things much more enjoyable. There's more people living in the Exit 9 area, more people visiting the Exit 9 area, and your trail and what you've accomplished will stand for many years and be enjoyed by many, many people. Do you have any other words of wisdom for us?
I don't believe so.
Well, I guess I've asked you enough questions. Round of applause. Worse than a college interview, right? They still do that? They still do college interviews? Okay. All right, good. So, Brendan Patrick, on behalf of the town of Clifton Park, again, thank you very much for what you've done for the town. Obviously, scouting has meant a great deal to you and will help you many years into the future, school, your profession, and has taught you many lessons, and that is clear. So God bless you, and great job. Thank you. You know, Matthew got a little sense of the questions in there. So Brendan had to go first. So. My last name begins with B. I always had to go first. All right, Pat, we also have a resolution from Matthew.
This is resolution number 10 of 2018, a resolution recognizing Matthew James Roos for attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in service to his community. Whereas the town of Clifton Park, New York takes great pride in the accomplishments of our young citizens and recognizes the valuable contributions of the Boy Scouts of America to our community and to our nation. And whereas Matthew has proven himself to be an outstanding member of Boy Scout Troop 6, chartered by the Jonesville United Methodist Church, and has earned the rank of Eagle Scout awarded on January 6, 2018. And whereas the rank of Eagle Scout is the highest award that a Boy Scout can earn, and to achieve this rank, Matthew Roos earned 21 merit badges, demonstrated leadership within Troop 6, and organized and completed his Eagle Scout project, which benefited the local community. And whereas Michael's Eagle Scout project benefited the Sherwood Forest Kins Road Park trails in Clifton Park as he organized and led a team of volunteers to construct a trailhead kiosk, a replacement mud bridge, and implemented permanent trail improvements designed to correct and prevent further erosion. And whereas Matthew's dedication to the Boy Scout oath while using his leadership skills to give back to his community will serve to prepare him for a meaningful, productive role in society. Now therefore be resolved that the Clifton Park Town Board honors the accomplishments of Matthew James Ruth as an outstanding citizen and recognizes Matthew as one of the community's newest Eagle Scouts. May further resolve that a copy of this resolution be presented to Matthew Ruth.
Very good. I move that we approve the resolution. Second by the board.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Fiddler? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walden? Supervisor Barrett?
Yes. Matthew, come on down. You're the next contestant. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
I was honored to attend Matthew's Court of Honor this past Saturday afternoon. It was a beautiful ceremony, and saw firsthand how all of your fellow troops and your parents and your family were so proud of you, and they should be for what you've accomplished. So, who are you picking tonight? Alabama or Georgia?
No comment.
Don't worry, they're both down. It's okay. You can pick one. Alabama or Georgia? You're not going to pick one? Oh, okay. I had to throw you off a little bit. I didn't want you to
Had a chance to
get
study.
too comfortable. Yeah, right. So, no, but tell us about your project and how you went about planning and executing.
So I worked with actually the town on this one, the Clifton Park Buildings and Grounds Department, particularly with Jen Vigiani. She was a big help for me to plan this project, and we worked on a trail that went between Kins Road Park and the Sherwood Forest neighborhood. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And well, tell us a little. Give us a little more detail about what you did exactly. I mean, you made it a lot easier for people to traverse that area, particularly in the times of the year where it gets a little messy and muddy, right?
So we put in a trailhead kiosk that has a map on it, as well as a Lyme disease tick warning, among other information about the area. We corrected some erosion on the trail by moving some dirt in. We replaced a mud bridge that was starting to show signs of wear. So we put in a new bridge and moved the old bridge into a position where it could be used as a platform for an area that gets pretty muddy. We also put in railroad ties across the trail that will prevent the trail from eroding further.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic addition to Kins Road Park. And as you mentioned, I do want to thank Jen Vigiani, Dan Clemens, Buildings and Grounds, for working with Matt. And in this particular instance, I decided to do a project in partnership with the town, and we certainly appreciate it. So, so what are you looking to do in the future? What's next for you?
I'm currently studying biology at Binghamton University. I hope to use it for forensics and go into law enforcement. My preference would be the FBI.
Yeah, you mentioned forensics the other day at your ceremony. So, what area?
Probably, well, biological, so
Yeah.
more human type evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son's thinking about going into forensics accounting.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of forensics.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that certainly is an interesting profession, and one where I would tend to think there's a lot of opportunity there, right?
Potentially, yes.
So when you're pursuing that study, he's very non-committal. Very non-committal. You should get into politics. You're going to run for supervisor. Very non-committal. Brendan, who are you picking tonight? Alabama or
I don't follow.
Where was I? Oh, okay. So now, when you pursue that degree in that area of study, So you obviously have the undergrad, 4 years, and now does it get into the forensics area once you get into graduate work? Or?
I hope to pursue a master's in biology, but that won't necessarily be closely relating to forensics. It's more that educational research experience I gain afterwards that would be more applicable to law enforcement use.
And that is it's a good school, and one that it seems like more and more kids from Shen every year attend that school.
I think,
Heard
yeah,
a lot
quite
of
a
good
few
things
for my
about it.
year over there.
That you see quite a few?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, as far as scouting goes, what has scouting meant to you, and what have you learned from scouting that you believe you can take and use in your future?
Scouting has enabled me to obtain a lot of really good leadership experience and a certain kind of leadership where you're not necessarily leading for your own benefit, but you're leading for the benefit of yourself and everyone that you're leading, especially to the benefit of those you are leading. So I thought that scouting gave me a lot of really good opportunities to work on that.
Good, good. And I asked that question in particular for all these future Eagle Scouts that are out here. You know, when you're younger and you're going to school or going through Scouts, sometimes you say, why am I doing this? I'll never use it. Well, these two young men are perfect examples of how, you know, what you learn along the way will help you. And so it's very important to follow the process and successfully achieve your goals, right?
Absolutely.
All right. I got him to commit on that one. All right. Well, we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And looking for big things from you in the future. And you and Brendan are definitely rising, shining stars in Clifton Park. So God bless. Thank you. You know, it was a funny thing. So I've been attending Eagle Scout ceremonies now for about 18 years. I remember when I was first campaigning for office in '99. Yeah, I know, it was a while ago. And so somebody asked me at the door, you know, how come the town doesn't support the Boy Scouts a little more? And I asked them, well, how would you see us doing that? And they gave me some suggestions. I said, well, I would certainly follow through on that. And one of them was attending Eagle Scout ceremonies. It was only a couple years later that many of the prospective Eagle Scouts started asking me, hey, I need a project. So we began keeping a list of potential projects. And whenever I get contacted now, I ask Jen to send the scout. We have 2 or 3 pages at all times of potential projects. So again, good tip for all you future Eagle Scouts out there. But Matt chose one of those projects, and I received a very urgent call a couple of months ago because people in Kings Road Park saw orange tabs on trees. Well, if you've been following Kings Road Park over the last couple of years, people get excited when they see ribbons or tags on trees because they think the trees are coming down based on a whole plan that the county was planning to do that isn't going to happen, and I won't bore you with all the details, but so I asked Matt, that wasn't you, was it? And he said it wasn't, so I couldn't remember what scout was which at the moment, but that wasn't me. He didn't cause my phone to start ringing. But those tabs were only for trail markers, they weren't for taking down trees. So, and we now own Kings Road Park, which is fantastic. But what you did, similar to Brendan's project, did enhance recreational area for residents, and it's something that thousands of people will use on an annual basis for many years to come. So we thank you for your efforts and for being such a great example to your peers, your family, and representing our town so well. God bless you. How about another round of applause? And they both did so well with the questions. Very, very good. So they're not only obviously very bright, they're well spoken, hardworking, I don't know. Seems like a good mix of characteristics and a future of success. So keep working. Okay, Pat, we have a couple more resolutions here.
A resolution approving the 2018 summer pool director, managers, and town pool summer recreation matrices for employees. Whereas the town supervisor has recommended that rates of pay be increased for the 2018 summer pool directors, managers, and pool staff matrices per Schedule A and B. Now, it be resolved that the town board hereby adopts the 2018 salary matrix for pool director, managers per Schedule A, and be it further resolved that the town board also adopts the 2018 salary matrix for pool staff per Schedule B. A resolution reappointing members to certain boards whose terms had expired on December 31st, 2017. Whereas the terms for certain appointments expired December 31st, 2017 and were not included in Resolution 1 of 2018. And whereas Supervisor Barrett recommends the following residents be reappointed as stated. Now therefore be it resolved that Brian Glick and Linda Campion are hereby reappointed to the Clifton Park Ethics Board, each for a 2-year term, terms to expire December 31st, 2019. And be it further resolved that Lester Dennison be reappointed as chairman of the Fire Code Appeals Board, term to expire December 31st, 2018. And be it further resolved that Paul Van Skyke of Rustic Ridge Road, Rexford, be reappointed as a member of the Emergency Services Advisory Board for a 3-year term, term to expire December 31st, 2020.
Are there any questions on those resolutions? If you read the heading, and we'll consider each one individually.
This is resolution number 11 of 2018, a resolution approving the 2018 summer pool director, managers, and town pool summer recreation matrices for employees.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. We are, now annually, if you're a returning employee, seasonal employee with the pools and the camps, you do get a raise year to year. However, with the pending increase of the minimum wage to $10.40 an hour, we are raising all of the seasonal employees more than just their standard yearly raise. So they'll get a nice raise. Now, not everybody, especially if you're brand new to working for the town seasonally, will be making minimum wage. We have not completely kept pace with the minimum wage. However, we have raised wages each of the last few years to stay competitive. So not everybody that works for the town in a camp or at the pool is going to make $10.40 an hour. At the pool, I would say most make at least that. At the camp, the pay is a little less. Obviously, with being a lifeguard, there's more training involved in specialties and supply and demand, basic economics, right? So that's where we are headed into 2018. Now these increases, so again, we want to stay competitive with the market. So it will precipitate an increase in the cost of the programs. So we've also increased programs slightly each year, and we've raised these salaries. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Pat.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walbert?
Yes.
Vice Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 12 of 2018. A resolution reappointing members to certain boards whose terms had expired on December 31st, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Waller. These are simply reappointments that were not included in the reorganizational resolution last week. Okay. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen? Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walbert?
Yes.
Vice Barrett?
Yes. We do have one other presentation. We only had a couple other resolutions tonight, so I wanted to get through those. We have a presentation tonight from the Shen Nordic Ski Club. And come on up, sir.
Sure.
You good? Thank you. How you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. We had a nice discussion recently, and the club is interested in, now they utilize Kings Road Park, but they would like to utilize Garnsey Park on a more regular basis. And they have some ideas and some equipment that they're investing in to help them do that. So I thought it would be nice if you came, told us a little bit about your plans, and give the town board or people attending the meeting the opportunity to ask any questions.
Sure, you
How are
bet.
you doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing? All right, thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Daryl Karen. I live in Sherwood Forest, so I'm adjacent to Kings Road Park, which is great, but I've been involved in the Shen Nordic Club now for almost 10 years. Also here on behalf of Shen Nordic Club is Jim Flaherty, over on lives on Kings Road. And Shen Nordic Club has been around for about almost 25, 30 years now. We are kind of partly a booster club for the Shen High School Nordic skiing, also known as cross-country skiing team. We have a high school team that has about 35 kids participating and racing against other schools and across the state. We also, and which is the largest team in the area. Obviously, Shen is a big campus numbers-wise, so that helps us out. Our biggest competition is the indoor track running. We try to recruit some of these kids to get out there and quit pounding it on the hallways and get out in the snow and have fun.
It is warm.
So, it is definitely warm, but we have more fun, and it's a great aerobic workout and strength without having all the pounding. So they come back in the spring faster runners without all the injuries. So, but in addition to supporting the high school team, we also have high school is JV and varsity with 35 kids. We also are in our second season now of a modified middle school team. We've got about a dozen skiers, so it's going to really help us recruit and continue to build the size of the teams in the future. And then getting to the younger kiddos, we have what's called the Bill Koch Youth Ski League. And we have about between 5 and 10 kids participating in that as well. They don't have to be necessarily in the Shen School District to do that. So we've got some families in the Glenville and Scotia area that come on over to take advantage of that. They do, they meet on the campus on Tuesdays, whether there's snow or not. They do a lot of fun activities, orienteering, biathlon, running, things like that. A lot of fun games to kind of get them outside and enjoying it. So in addition to the school booster club type component of our Shen Nordic Club, we also have the community is welcome to join us. So one of our goals, in addition to the school teams, is to get people more familiar with cross-country skiing and try to increase the opportunities for cross-country skiing in our area. So we do have an increasing number of parks, which is great, and trails. And Jim Flaherty has been involved in grooming Kings Road Park for how many years now, Jim?
Since 1994.
Since 1994. Jim is also a previous high school coach for Shen for cross country. So he's done a great job over there with Kings Road Park with grooming that between using the town snowmobile and equipment that some of it he's even constructed. And then I think there's another older snowmobile that the Shen Nordic Club has purchased, which is being used occasionally right now over at the Shen campus to groom for the kids over there. So, we really felt like we wanted to have more opportunities. One of the key things with cross-country skiing, to really enjoy it, is that you can backcountry ski. You don't need to have grooming to cross-country ski. All you have to do is just slide those skinny skis right through the snow. But especially the last 5, 10, 15 years, when in southern Saratoga County the snow has been less reliable, it's really key that to improve the quality and also the quantity of skiing that we can do is we need a decent snowmobile and a groomer to be able to set like a 7-foot wide track that we can do for classic classic traditional skiing, but also skate skiing technique. So our club for the last 2 years has been doing a lot of fundraisers. We've raised about $30,000 in total, which we put toward a lot of uniforms and How many of you have seen kids roller skiing around Clifton Park? On the roads, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully safely on the
Oh,
bike
yeah.
paths and all that. So when the snow doesn't come up, we're out there roller skiing as well because the kids need to simulate skiing at least. But where we really feel like we can have help grow the sport is if we have grooming equipment that's of good quality. We can take the snow, whether it's a foot of snow or 4 inches of snow, and actually manipulate it to smooth it out, to break up the ice and all of that, to give us a nice skiing track. So number one, we want to continue doing that in Kins Road Park. So we've got some nice loops that we've been doing in there, but we want to expand to Garnsey Park because Garnsey is a really nice park with great trails both in the woods and on the fields. And also it's got one thing, as well as Kins does, for the high school teams, is it has a few hills. The Shen campus does not have any hill over there except for that one little man-made hill the team members made about 6 or 8 years ago or so. Yeah, so to give them a little bit of an elevation to work on their climbing skills. So this way, at least, there may not be a mountain over at Garnsey, but at least there's some gradual hills to practice going up and going down the hills. But the nice part for the community, too, is that with having groomed ski trails over there and promoting it, letting people know about it, I think we can get more people into the sport of cross-country skiing. One thing that's kind of hurt the last few years is if we don't have snow, people just kind of forget about it and don't go out and buy equipment or use the equipment that they have. So by having good grooming over there, we'll have something where people can start skiing, or if you're more of an experienced skier, you can just enjoy it, or if you like to do racing up in the Adirondacks and things like that, you can actually train in your backyard. So you can go out and ski for 30 minutes, come home, take a shower, and go to work. It's a great sport to do like that, and you can get a great workout in just 30 minutes. So what we've done is with this fundraising, we've gone out and the club approved the purchase, and actually we're receiving a snowmobile we're purchasing from. Luckily, we're able to do all this from either locally owned or privately owned businesses to support them as well. We purchased a snowmobile from Seymour's Motorized Sports. It's a what's called a Skidoo Scantic. It's actually like a work utility snowmobile, so it's ideal for like pulling a groomer and is less likely to get stuck out there. And then secondly is we've purchased a what's called the Ginsu groomer. So it's made out in Yellowstone, Montana, and it's a very specialized groomer to actually roll. If you're a skier out there, you've seen like corduroy snow that when you're downhill skiing, looks like corduroy slacks. So we have that for the skate skiing, but also then we have a track setter that we can put down and put 2 nice tracks on there for classic skiers to enjoy too. So it'll be a great thing to do to take advantage of the snow and get it ready for skiing out there. The other thing that's important, obviously with doing more than one location, is we've purchased a trailer. So a trailer that we can actually pull the snowmobile and the groomer right onto the trailer, and then it actually has a reverse, so you just reverse it right off of there. So so Jim and I will be the 2 primary groomers. Jim's continuing to volunteer his time, which he's done generously in the past, and I'm also committing more of my time to help groom and make these opportunities available.
Now, as a school sport, is it similar to other sports like maybe crew or hockey, where they receive some support from the school, but not considered a, I don't know what's the right term, full-fledged sport?
No, this is actually a full-fledged sport.
Oh, it is?
Yep,
Okay.
Alpine skiing and downhill skiing
okay.
are both under the category of skiing for Shen. So
great.
we are not like the rowing club, and I think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, so we're so Shen does support it.
Good.
We did it. The club has supported some by purchasing additional skis and poles and roller skis, like I said, and even we've helped out. We picked up 50% of the cost for new uniforms because the kids were out there skiing in like 25-year-old uniforms, and they looked ridiculous right now. So they look like
If you want
all
to be
these
good,
skinny
you got to
kids.
look good, right?
Yeah, these skinny kids, they all look like little green beans. So this way we've got some cool racing outfits for them. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I was very excited to talk to you about this because, as we've grown our Parks and Recreational Network exponentially, does provide new opportunities for different activities. At least that was the goal, and obviously with your expansion, if you will, by using another park, one of our newer parks, that goal will be achieved. So we're more than happy to to partner with you on this. I think it's great.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we've been talking with Tom McCarthy and also with Jen Vigiani. It's been great, and other folks to really get this going. And it's a great park over there. If you haven't been to Garnsey, I know a lot of the scouts definitely have been out there and their families. But it's right on busy 146. But once you get out in the woods there and the trails with all the birds and the wood, it's an awesome place to be. So, and even tomorrow, as an example. Even before we're out there grooming, we started this last year, but this year they do it occasionally too, depending on the snow conditions. The high school team is going to be bused over there, and they'll have actually their ski practice tomorrow over there to kind of mix it up. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and thankfully we still have quite a few of those areas where you can go out into a couple hundred acres and forget you're in a busy town. It's nice to be able to do that once in a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's good for the body and the mind, and so that's good. And so Shen Nordic Club is looking forward to having a working agreement shortly to officially be doing this in the two parks, and then the town does some grooming also. So we'll kind of work together on this. So.
Daryl and I have also talked about the possibility of doing some events on the new property at Exit 9 as well. So as we have those discussions and ideas as they're floating about, we'll certainly run it by the town board and let them know, and obviously they can offer their input as we move forward. But yeah, some exciting things, I think, that we can do that. Fantastic.
Okay.
Too bad we had to cancel the moonlight ski.
Right, we had the snow, but it was too
Yeah.
darn cold. Poor Eric Hamilton, he's got a lot of patience though, so
Yeah, we had
there's another one on the schedule.
Yeah, we had a moonlight ski event scheduled down in Bishop Harry Preserve, and it was one of those 0 degrees minus whatever wind chill nights, and just figured it was not safe for people to be out there, and figured a lot of people would stay home anyway, so yeah, we canceled it. Oh, we'll do it again.
Yeah, keep your eyes out. We will have some other activities, whether it's with the Winterfest or just on our own. Last year in Garnsey Park, actually, we had a luminary ski. We put out about 300 or 400 candles in the bags along the trails, and we had a big bonfire out there. We had over 100 people out there, and it was a great night. Even people who live near Garnsey saw like the ribbon of all the lights out on the hills, and they stopped by and just to say hi and see what the heck is going on. So they were really excited because being neighbors of Garnsey, they're kind of the caretakers too, they're keeping their eye on it, and they were so excited about it. So we got to meet some new neighbors over there.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you were going to send me some pictures too.
Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
those lights.
I have some, one thing we talked about is, one thing that we kind of followed as a guide is, if some of you are familiar with Crandall Park, Coles Woods, up in Glens Falls. It's kind of on the border of Glens Falls and Queensbury, near the YMCA and Inside Edge Ski and Bike. The folks who own Inside Edge back in the 70s created the first lighted ski trails in the country for cross-country skiing. And here it is now, 40 years later, and they've upgraded the lights, and they have a nice 5K of lights every day from 4 till 10. It's totally free, and it's lit up, and you can go there and ski under the lights, and it's really a nice community feature up there for people to ski easily on some really nice trails. Again, it's almost like that new addition over by between Moe Road and like Exit 9 area, in that it's got Aviation Mall on one side, it's got Route 9 on the other, but it's once you're in the woods, it's a great spot to ski. But they have a Friends of Coles Woods group who purchased a groomer and all of that a few years ago. Actually, they've been grooming there for at least 20 years. But so that they manage the grooming and kind of work together with the city and the town up there. So they've had a good relationship. And that was kind of a model that we have been trying to follow with doing this with Clifton Park.
I used to cross country up there in the 70s.
Oh, good. So isn't it? It's great up there. They have a nice one steep hill, but otherwise it's really nice through there.
I was there before the lights, but
Oh, okay.
I remember.
Good. Yeah, it's still a great place to go up there and ski, or in the summertime, you can just trail run there or ride your mountain bike and things like that. Another thing too, not to ignore the snowshoers, even with grooming these trails, whether you're walking your dog or snowshoeing or, depending on the conditions, if you're fat biking out there with 4 or 5 inch rubber tires, you can actually get out there and enjoy it too. So, be a lot of, to get more people outdoors and enjoying the winter. So, yeah. All right, great.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The moonlight skiing, is that the closest weekend night to a full moon, or is that on the full moon?
It's either on or near the full moon, yes.
Near.
Near? Okay, near. So it depends on the day of the week.
Okay, so it's usually on a weekend, though, not the night of the full moon?
I'm not sure. If you look in either the Clifton Park Recreation Guide that's mailed out, or it might even be on the website.
Yeah, it's on the website.
I think the last one was
Social
scheduled
media.
for a Thursday, if I remember right.
Close enough.
Wasn't it like,
It was.
Close enough.
like 10 days ago?
It's amazing how you could see full moon, clear night with snow on the ground.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
see, it's almost like, not quite like daylight, but it's quite amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, once your eyes adjust, you can
Especially
really.
that super moon that we had. Is that the one you were planning on?
Yeah, I think it was December 27th,
Yeah,
if I
it was
remember right, or
amazing,
28th, something
yeah.
like that. So.
I think we have a bomb cyclone moon coming up. So that'll be
Hopefully we don't hear that term again for a
Well, we
while.
gotta come up with new names for all
Yeah,
these
right.
weather things. Keeps people interested, makes them think it's the first time something's ever
Right,
happened.
one up the last storm, yeah.
Right.
All right, good.
Any other questions for Darrell at this point?
Great. Thanks,
Darrell,
sir.
we look forward to expanding our partnership and working on new adventures in the future. And if you need anything as things go forward, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward. State your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Any takers this evening? Who are you picking tonight, Jeff? Alabama or Georgia? Alabama? You always pick Alabama. She goes with the winner. Yeah, they'll probably win again. You're going to be right.
Councilman Bailey? Yes. Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano? Yes. Councilman Baldwin? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes, thank you.